let me give you a different way. So there's a couple of little things before I dive into it. When you're swimming, the way you described it is you're doing this and this, and it's arms, and then you move your hips. You're moving your hips, which is great, and it works, but it's still one body part at a time. It's still thinking about moving this, moving that. And for me, swimming is more than just arms and legs. In fact, in my webinar, I say the same thing: stop swimming with your arms and legs. And a lot of teachers would say, kick from the hips, or rotate the hips, or rotate the shoulders. It's still an individual body part. I think the idea, the understanding is that it's not about moving parts. It's letting movement flow, or rather one movement moves into the other. One action leads to another. So if I were to swim like you, it's arm, and I kind of breath, and then I might have to get my head out a bit. And then I'm thinking about this neck, and then my head, and then my breathing, and I sink a bit, and then it's all body parts. But we could, a couple of things. Arm goes in, we can have more of a glide. But it's the arm going in that I want you to think about. I mentioned this to Andy. So I want you to follow your arm. I want you to be aware of the flow of the arm, and your arm's going in. I don't know if that's really a true indication of your arm shape or momentum or speed or effort, but your arms are heavy. We can use that weight as momentum. So we don't want, it doesn't have to be this. You know, we see a lot of swimmers swimming with this level of It doesn't want to be that, because that's apathy. You know, there's no direction to it. We want to send your arm into the water, and you can follow it with your eyes, but it's not just your arm. So if I swim like this, I mean, you obviously know about bodies and you know how the skeleton works. At the moment, I'm swimming with my arm ending here. And I said this in the webinar, and it's really just an awakening or a new understanding. I want to swim from here, because obviously that's my clavicle, you know that. So instead of having an arm that's this long from here to here, and obviously I've got long arms, my arm's now this long from here to here. And instead of just moving my arms and my shoulders, I'm now moving all of this side. As my arm comes in, I follow it and I go forwards. But if you notice, my whole body's turning, and then the rest of me follows. So I'm not moving my hips. My hips rotate as a consequence of the arm going in. I'll try on the other side. So I might be going swim, 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 flat in the water. But actually, if I engage all of this, I'm turning. And I enjoy that turn. I enjoy that level of rotation. So it's from side to side. Maybe not that much, but once you're swimming on your side, you're more efficient in the water. But it's not moving my hips. My hips move, my body moves as a result of sending my fingers into the water. Everything follows. And actually, as a result, if I'm on my side there, that level of movement I can take, I'm looking up at the ceiling. I've got all the time in the world, all the space, a lot less hold, a lot less tension. And I think it's the stage now. We've done 4 sessions where we can start to think about the movement aspects. And this won't come easy, but the idea is let the movement happen from one movement. Does that make sense? So let one movement lead the other, lead the next. That's a big jump from your normal swimming, and it's something that won't happen straight away. But this isn't about fixing your swimming. It's really about letting the breathing happen more easily, so it doesn't change your balance, and you have more time to breathe, and you don't have to worry about that other rule, keeping your head in the water. When I swim, my head's looking straight up at the sky, because I like to see the sky. And there's less rotation on my neck because my whole side's rotated. Otherwise, I have to go, and that's a lot of hold. That's a lot of stress. But if I'm swimming from side to side, I'm already on my side. By the time I've got to there, it's just that level of movement. And look, all that space around. You'll have to get in the pool to try it. But that's what I'll leave you with. I think we can keep talking, but we've got a couple of bits of quite a few experiments to recap on, but we'll revisit this because the next section of the course is about whole body movement awareness. And instead of swimming to technique or positions, we'll use intention. Send your arm forward. Follow it with your eyes, and your body will follow. One movement leads to another. That's how you swim as a whole, not as individual parts.
So what are you thinking about when you do that? Are you thinking of stretching forward? Are you thinking of
Stretching? Not really, because I think that creates more body tension, but it is it's finding that balance. So if I say this, I see a lot of swimmers, they swim at this level. Can you see how much tension there is there?
Yeah.
But then I see someone's like this, they flop it in.
Yeah.
So actually, and there's a lot of your arm has to be at 45 degrees. Your arm has to be 30 centimeters from the surface of the water. I mean, all these rules, but what sound does your arm make as it goes into the water? That's another thing. That's one of the experiments, which we'll come on to. Just to say, because you work through the content, to get access to the next, you'll need to read through it all and mark them all as complete. And then the next module opens up. But the reason I've kind of done that is because I don't want module 1 to be just dismissed once you've run module 2.
No. Well,
so everything's something we repeat and go over. But at this stage, we're moving on to that time when we can start to think about applying some of my approach to the movement, your actual swimming. Because really, I don't want you to swim. I want you to swim, afloat, glide, and then eventually swim. But we've got places to be, we've got goals to achieve. So let's start to throw in some of these.
Sure.
On my approach, it's my approach. So I want you to take it and find your own ways, find something that suits. But I'm suggesting it to make your breathing easier, to make your movement more holistic. I think that's the right word, as a whole.
So
what do you think?
Yeah, I can give that a go. But the one thing, if you're doing this with your arm, you put it in wide, or do you put it in central, or do you put it?
Follows your shoulder.
Yeah.
If it's too narrow,
you're going to rotate.
It's no helpful. If it's too wide, it's not helpful. You'll find the place. And I might add in something about swimming on your side, because side swimming is a really easy. Side swimming, extending that glide and swimming on your side, you cut through the water more efficiently there than there. Like a catamaran, they've got very shallow hulls. Flat bottom hull is not as efficient. And there's so many rules about not swimming on your side, not over rotating. But I'm not one for rules, and I'm doing the way I swim is because it's more pleasurable, it's more efficient, it works for me. Now, I think it will work for you too, but that's for you to explore and decide if it does.